colleagues for the classes. So today I will be taking the fifth chapter, that is coal and petroleum, from 8th class science. This is I am taking the part 1. So let's see what we are going to discuss today. Okay. So first we will deal about resources, the types of resources, that is the natural resource and the man-made resource. Okay. In the natural resource, we shall be seeing the other two types, that is exhaustible resource and inexhaustible resource. Okay. So we shall be discussing about it. Okay. Then we will discuss about fuels. We will see different types of fuels, primary fuels and the derived fuels. And in that we will be seeing about solid fuels, liquid fuels and gaseous fuels, and we shall also see different examples. Okay. Next we will study about energy utilization of fossil fuels, how energy is being used by fossil fuels. Then the different percentages we will see, how in different percent in production, in vehicles, in transports, in industries, in different domestic purposes, how this energy is being consumed. Next we shall see the need of fossil fuels, where they are required, different needs. Then I will be telling you about calorific value of a fuel. Okay, and then the characteristic of a good fuels. Okay, so these all things we shall discuss in our part 1. In the next part we will study about some inexhaustible fuels, that are coal, petroleum and natural gases. Okay, so let's start with it. So first we will see about resources. Okay, what is resources? So we all know that there are various materials which we need, which are our basic needs. So resources can be defined as the source from which we can benefit in some way. Okay, so resources are what? These are the sources. Resources can be defined as a source from which we can get benefit in some way. Source from which we can get benefit in some way. Okay, so we all know that we need thousands of things in our daily life. Thousands of basic needs are there. Okay, so for that what we need some resource to fulfill our basic need. Okay, so now these resources, they can be classified in two types. Okay, one, they can be found in nature and some can be made by human efforts. Okay, so natural resources, we can classify them as two. One is the natural resource and the other one is a man-made resource. Okay, so some of them can be found naturally in the nature and some have been made by human efforts. Okay, on that basis we have classified it as natural resource and man-made resource. Okay, so if we talk about natural resource के बारे में बात करते हैं. So natural resources are obtained directly by the nature itself. From where it has been obtained? Directly by the nature. Okay, so natural resources are obtained directly by the nature. We as a human, we as a man do not create them. They are present directly in a nature, or nature provides it to us. Okay, if we see the example for that, wind. Who creates wind? Does we create wind? No. It's automatically the wind is being created by the nature itself. Air. The air we breathe, the air we take out, all these, does we make it? No. It's present naturally in our atmosphere, in the nature. Water is there. Do we create water? No. Nature itself has created water. Soil is there, and minerals are there, and there are many other natural resources which occur within the soil. Okay, and so many minerals are there. We shall be discussing about it in further. So all these things, wind, air, water, soil, minerals, these occur naturally. We don't create them. Okay, so further, if we classify natural resource, we can classify them in two broad categories. Okay, so natural resource is further classified in two broad categories. One is inexhaustible natural resource, and the other one is an exhaustible natural resource. Okay, so it is inexhaustible natural resource. Okay, so as the name itself suggests, inexhaustible. Okay, and the other one is the exhaustible. Okay, exhaustible natural resource. So before going in detail with the inexhaustible natural resource and exhaustible natural resource, we shall first discuss about man-made resources. Okay, so we have seen that natural resources are obtained directly from the nature. These man-made resources are something made by humans for their consumption. Okay, we want to consume it, we need it. So man-made resource is made by, how can we define man-made resource? Man-made resource is made by humans, made by human effort for their consumption. Okay, we make it for our consumption. We need to consume it, so we make it. So these man-made resources are not available naturally. You can't find them naturally. Okay. So again, we will see example. If you see, there are different several machines which man have made. Okay. Different types of vehicles are there which man have made. Roads are there. So many buildings are there whose construction man have done. Okay, etc. So like this, there are many different needs. Okay, so all these man-made resources have been created using the natural resources that are available. Okay, are you getting my point? I want to say that जो man-made resources भी हैं वो किससे बनते हैं? आपको एक कोई बेसिक तो चाहिए जिससे आप स्टार्ट करोगे. तो जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं उन्हीं से man-made resource भी बनते हैं. Okay, so here you can see about natural resource we have discussed, about man-made resources we have discussed. Resources can be classified as two, natural and man-made, that we have discussed, and natural resources can further be classified as exhaustible and inexhaustible. Okay, now the question is कि these man-made resources, how you can say that they are being made by the natural resources. Okay, so let's see some of these examples I will be showing you. Okay, so if you know rubber, what is rubber? अच्छा, we make a class here. Just a minute. We will see how from natural resources, man-made resources are being made. Okay, so in one column I will write natural resources, and in the other column man-made resources. Okay, so let's talk about rubber. What is rubber? Rubber is a natural resource. It occurs in nature. What does man make using rubber? These they make tires. Okay, we make tires from using these rubbers. In the previous chapter, if we will go in chapter 4, we have discussed about it. Okay, then next comes wood. Wood is a natural resource. Trees are natural resource. We don't make trees. Okay, so from these woods, what do we make? We make different furnitures. Okay, furnitures at your home, different furnitures, like example you can take furnitures like chairs are there, tables are there, etc. All these furnitures, they are being made by the wood. Wood being a natural resource is used for making a man-made resource, that is different furnitures, chair, table, etc. Okay. Next is the metal. Metal occurs naturally in nature. What do we make with metals? We make different utensils. Utensils like bowl, spoon, many other utensils that are used in our kitchenware. Okay. Then next comes sand. Sand occurs naturally. What do we make of sand? We make different clay pots. Okay? Different clay pots are made with sand. Sand is a natural material. Okay? I have already discussed about different metals that is used for making utensils. Other metals like copper is there. Copper occur in nature. What we do with copper? We make different utensils also. We make a statue with it. Okay? So like this, all the man-made resources are in some way being created by the natural resources. Okay? So here are some of the examples. You can see how these natural resources, they help in making man-made resources. Okay? So let's discuss about inexhaustible resources. Okay? as the name itself suggests, you can see here inexhaustible. What means inexhaustible? जिसको कि जो कभी भी एग्जॉस्ट नहीं हो सकता, जो कभी भी खत्म नहीं हो सकता, which can never be finished. Okay? So as the name itself indicates, these are the resources that are present in unlimited quantity in the nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. Okay? So inexhausted resources की क्या points होंगे? It is present in unlimited quantity in nature. Okay, and the second thing is that it can't be exhausted. Okay, it can't be finished or it can't be exhausted. Okay, by human activities. ह्यूमन के किसी भी एक्टिविटी से इसको फिनिश नहीं किया जा सकता है, इसको एग्जॉस्ट नहीं किया जा सकता है. This type of resources are called inexhaustible resources. Okay, so it is present in unlimited quantity in the nature. Okay, let's see the example. Sunlight. Can you finish sunlight? Can anybody consume all the sunlight? No, never. You can't consume all the sunlight. The sunlight can never be finished. Okay? So it is an inexhaustible resource. Next is air. Can anybody use up all the air? Can anybody eat up all the air? No. Neither human beings nor any of the animals. So it is an inexhaustible resource. Okay? So there are other examples also. Now the next one is the exhaustible resources. Okay, so what are they? So the second one is exhaustible. Exhaust. Exhaustible resources is made from exhaust. Means it can be used up. It can be finished. Okay. So the amount of resources in the nature are limited. We know that some of the resources are being limited. Okay. So they can be exhausted by human activities and might be disappeared. Such natural resources that can be exhausted by human activities is called exhaustible resources. Okay, so let's see the points for exhaustible resources. They can be exhausted by human activities. They can be exhausted by human activities. Okay, and the other thing is that it may be happen sometime that human has consumed it so much that it may disappear by time. It may be lost or disappear by time. Okay, it can be lost or it can disappear by time. Such resources are called exhaustible resources. Now let's see the example. Example are forest. Can human beings use all of the forest? Yes. We have seen that lots of the forest has been disappeared because of the human activities. They have done hunting, they have killed all the animals, they have done wood cutting and all the woods have been finished, and whole of forest has been finished because they have been consumed by human beings. Okay. Similarly, wildlife. Okay, we have seen that so many wildlife animals have disappeared. They have been extinct. The reason is that humans have consumed them. Okay. like this there are so many examples. So we have seen inexhaustible and exhaustible natural resources. Both are natural resources, but inexhaustible is the one which can never be exhausted. Exhaustible can be exhausted. It can be used by human beings or by different human activities. Okay, and we have also seen the examples. So we have seen about resources. Now let's move ahead. Okay. So in this chapter, that is coal and petroleum, we will learn about some exhaustible natural resources. Okay, some natural resources that can be exhausted by time by human activities. So we shall learn about coal, petroleum, and some of the natural gases. Okay. Now there is a one very important thing we need to learn about is about fossils. What is fossils? Okay, so sometime before there was some dead or decayed remains of living organisms like plants and animals. Okay, so a dead living organism, it can be of plants, it can be of animals. That dead decay of plants and animals are called fossils. Okay, remaining of dead decay of living organisms. Which living organisms? Plant and animals. Okay, plant and animals is called fossils. Okay, so this is called fossils, and today in this chapter we will study about fuel. So these are also known as fossil fuels. Okay, so we have seen what is fuels. Now we will study about we have seen about fossils. Now we shall study about fuels. Okay, fossil fuel and the fuels. So let's study about fuels. Okay, so fuel is a substance that releases large amount of energy in the form of heat and light when it is burned. Okay, fuel is what? Fuel is a substance that releases large amount of energy. What is release? Large amount of energy in the form, and that energy is released in the form of either heat and light when they are burned. Okay, but they do not produce without producing any harmful gas. Okay, they do not produce any harmful gas. So what is fuel? They release substance that release large amount of energy in the form of heat and light. Okay, in the form of heat and light when they are burned. Okay. Then the next thing is that these fuels when they are burned, they do not release any harmful gas. They do not release any harmful gas. Okay, they do not release any harmful gas. So this was about fuel. Okay, next we shall see the classification of these fuels. Okay, so these fuels can be classified in two types. Okay, so fuels can be classified as two. One is the natural fuel and the other one is a derived fuel. Okay, so this natural fuel is also called as primary fuel. Okay, and this derived fuel is called as secondary fuel. Okay, so fuel can be classified in two types: natural fuel and derived fuel. Natural fuel is also called as primary fuel. Derived fuel is called as secondary fuel. Okay, so what is this natural fuel and derived fuel? If the fuel is present in its natural state, it is called natural fuel. Means natural fuel is present in its natural state. Okay, and this derived fuel, if a fuel is processed to improve its quality, it is called derived fuel. Okay, so what is derived fuel? If fuel is processed, why is it being processed? To improve its quality, to improve its quality. So such a fuel is called derived fuel. Okay, I hope it must be very clear to you what is fuel and what is derived fuel. So let's see the full classification of a fuel. Okay, natural fuel or primary fuel, as I have already told you, and the second one is derived fuel or a secondary fuel. Okay, now let's divide them further. So they can be divided as solid fuels, liquid fuel and a gas fuel. Okay, and again these derived fuels can also be further classified in three types: solid fuel, liquid fuel, and the third one is a gas fuel. Okay, so in case of natural fuel, the solid fuels are wood. Wood is a solid fuel for a natural or primary fuel. Then if we talk about liquid, they are crude oil. Crude oil is a liquid natural fuel. gaseous fuel, you can say. So all the natural gases are included in the gaseous natural fuel. Similarly, for the derived fuels, let's see solid. In the solid fuel comes coke. Okay, we shall be studying about it when we will study coal and all. Okay, then if we talk about liquid fuel, then comes kerosene. Okay, kerosene is a liquid derived fuel. Then the gaseous fuel is a coal gas. Coal gas is a derived gaseous fuel. Okay, so we have seen how they have been divided. This was the division. Now what is solid fuel, what is liquid fuel, and what is gaseous fuel? So let's see about them also. A solid fuel. What is solid fuel? If a fuel exists in a solid state at room temperature, it is called as solid fuel. Okay? If a fuel exists in a solid state at the room temperature, okay, if it exists in a solid state at the room temperature, it is called as the solid fuel. Example, you can see firewood is there, coke is there, coal is there, charcoal is there. Okay, so many examples are there. I shall be writing it. Wait. Okay, so solid fuel examples. Okay, तो solid fuel का क्या क्या example है? Coal, firewood is there, cow dung is there, or animal dung, you can say animal dung cake. Okay, all these are what? They are solid fuel. Okay, firewood I have told, charcoals are there. Okay, and coke is there. All these are solid fuel. Next comes liquid fuel. So what is a liquid fuel? These are volatile liquids that produce vapor which burns to produce energy. What are they? They are volatile liquid. Okay? Volatile liquid that produce vapor which burns and produces energy. Okay? So let's see the example. Petrol is there, diesel is there, and kerosene. These are liquid fuels. Then next comes gaseous fuel. Okay? What are gaseous fuel? These are the fuels that exist in form of a gas or as a mixture of different gaseous fuel. They can be a single gas also or a mixture of gaseous fuel also. Okay? Example is natural gas. Okay? Natural gas is there, biogas is there, CNG is there. Nowadays CNG vehicles are very common, all the auto rickshaws, and they are preferred to be CNG auto rickshaw, and a coal gas. Okay, so this was about the type of solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel, and these are the examples you can see. Okay, so we have seen about fuel. and before. Okay, so now we should see how this energy utilization takes place. What are the percentage of energy utilization? So 40% of energy is used by industries. Okay, then 24% of the energy is being used by transportation sector. Energy is used by transportation sector. Okay, next 6% is used by farmers or farm industries, and the 30% of the energy is being used by domestic and other purposes. Okay, domestic and other purpose. Okay, so this was about the utilization of the energy. You have seen that how different percentage of the energy is utilized at different levels. Okay. Next we will see the need of fossil fuel. Okay, need of fossil fuels. Okay, so let's see the need of fossil fuels. So first is the transportation. We have seen how this energy is being used in transportation. So fuels are used to run different vehicles such as cars, trucks, motorcycles, trains, aeroplanes. Everybody needs fuel. Okay, so first fuel is needed transportation. Second comes we need fuel in cooking. Okay, so how we need it for cooking? We know that the gas which we use at our home is the LPG gas. So LPG is used in urban areas while firewood is used in rural areas. Okay, so firewood, coal, cattle dung is used in rural areas. Okay, so like this, cooking in the cooking, LPG is also used. Firewoods are there. Then cattle dung is there. Okay, like this different things are used in cooking. Third comes heating. How can these fuels be used as heating? We know that fuel generate heat. Okay, so if we want heat, we burn woods and all. Okay. Fourth is the electricity production. These fuels, they help in electricity production. Okay, they help in electricity production. So different fuels such as coal is there, petrol is there, and natural gases and diesels are used to generate electricity in power plant. Okay, is the industrial usage. In many industries, fuel is the basic need. Okay, they are used in different purposes such as for producing electricity, for running their machinery. They can't run their machine if there won't be any fuel. Okay, for heating purposes. So in different industries, these fuels are very essential. Okay, and in the last, in the rockets and space vehicles, these fuels are very essential. Okay, rockets and space vehicles. Okay, so fuels are called liberated, okay, amount of heat liberated, okay, upon total mass of a fuel, okay, upon total mass of a fuel. So amount of heat liberated is a heat, okay, and total mass of a fuel, mass means it is measured in kg, okay. So heat is measured in what? It will be measured in kg, that is kilojoule, okay, it will be kilojoules. And mass will be measured in the amount of fuel consumed in kg, okay. Kg is the kilojoule in which the unit of heat is measured, okay. So for a liquid or a gas fuel, volume of fuel is considered, while for solid fuel it is considered to find out calorific value, okay. Next we shall see the characteristic of a good fuel. So characteristic of good fuel. The very important thing that a good fuel should have is it should be very economical, means very low cost, okay. Costing should be very low, it should be very economical. Second, it should be very easily available. Availability should be very easy, it should be very easily available, okay. It should be very easily available. Then the third thing about it should be that it should not emit poisonous gas on burning or any kind of pollution. It should not give. So not emit, do not emit poisonous gas or any pollution. No pollution, no poisonous gas emission, okay. It should not emit poisonous gas, okay. Next, that I have already told you about calorific value. It should have a high calorific value. High calorific value. Why should it have a high calorific value? What does it mean? It means it should produce large amount of heat with respect to its mass. Mass के according heat जो है वो large amount में निकलना चाहिए, okay? Next is that it should be easy to handle, easy to store and easy to transport, okay. This is also a very good feature about it. Next is that it should not produce bad odor, okay. Means it should not give bad smell. A characteristic of a good fuel is that it should not give a bad smell or a bad odor, okay. Next is that it should be clean and should not produce many ashes, okay. Should be clean and not produce many ashes, okay. And the last and very important thing is that it should not ignite easily, okay. It should not ignite easily at room temperature, okay. So these are the features of a good fuel. You can see that low cost, easily available, no pollution production, no poisonous gas emission, high videos daily. Okay, so thank you.